Hey everybody, and welcome to Binder Minder. And today, it's been a while since I've opened a regular box of Magic. Well, I should say regular, but not a bundle, not a Commander bundle, not a Chocobo bundle, or anything like that. I'll tell you, we've already put in a bunch of pre-orders for Lorwyn. We're real excited about that, and I'm sure by the time that you're watching this, because I'm so slow on posting these, that Lorwyn's probably already out. But right now, we're just seeing the previews. And in the meantime, I did see a deal for Aetherdrift, which, not the most popular set. And if you've been on the channel for a while, you've probably seen just how bad my luck has been. But, you know, maybe things change. And then maybe I get the Chrome box on the special guest, or at least a special guest that we don't already have, because I don't have all of them. But, I don't know, I figured I'd dive in and try this out, you know. I don't even know that I've opened a full Play Booster box of Aetherdrift. Maybe I have. I did the bundles, and I did a collector box and stuff like that. But I think my wife maybe did the Play Booster. So, anyhow, I actually really like this set. I mean, I shouldn't say I really like this set, but it's better than Spider-Man. It's not the worst set, and I think this is kind of slept on. For starters, it's got good lands. And any set that's got a good land cycle can be a decent box. Like sometimes you have those boxes, the sets where there's no good lands, and you end up with like either you do really well or you do terrible. With good lands, typically, you know, even if you don't do well, you don't completely tank. So I'm hoping that's going to be the case. And I could always use Virgin lands. Plus, you know, we do have these box toppers, which we'll save for last. Maybe we'll get something good there. Anyhow, I'm going to get these pulled out and we'll get started. Try not to waste too much time. Alright, so now, for the uncommon, stock up is still really valuable. It's still sought after. It's like $650, $762. $762 for market price, which is pretty crazy for an uncommon. There are no commons that we should be looking for, but as far as the set goes itself, the big hit that we're going to find in here, or at least hopefully find in here, that we can get, would be the Is It Virgin, which is the River Pyre. That's, I think, the biggest hit that we can pull in here that's not in the box topper. Beyond that, let's see. The Aether Spark, which I've never pulled still. I don't have one. And then, of course, Monument to Endurance has really popped off. That's still there. That's still a good one to pick up. And below that, we have some Verges. Willow Rush Verge, Sunbillow Verge, Bleach Bone Verge, and then stock up. So, like, that's the stuff that's, you know, over Verges, stock up, and stuff like that. That's what's over $5 pretty much. Everything else is below $5. Some of the Gearhawks, Ketramos, and stuff like that. So, anyhow, I'm hoping for Verges. I'm hoping for a good box topper as well, but we'll see how we go. And of course, I've started filming, and the cats suddenly started going crazy. Out of nowhere. As usual, I guess. Alright, so I'm going to go pretty quick through this stuff, so kind of get a feel for it here, but we don't really need to pay too much attention to the commons, which will stack here, the uncommons, unless we get a stock up. There's our rare, there's an uncommon, and then here's our land, and our token. So, sort things out a little bit, save myself some time for future me, instead of making a big stack. Man, you can see just how out of practice I am. I need this tune-up box so that I'm ready for all the Lorwyn stuff, really. Got a Gearhawk, at least. Bright Glass Gearhawk. It's not too bad. It's a Mythic as well. Hope everybody had a good New Year. We didn't do anything for New Year. My wife worked, and no, she was off. She worked before then. And yeah, my idea of a good New Year or a good holiday at this point is just not having to do anything, so it wasn't too bad. Burnout Bastronaut, common, land, token. You know, it's funny. Some of these, like, I need copy tokens and stuff. Like I've built so many decks at this point that I've run out of some of the like standard tokens, and frankly, a lot of my decks don't have tokens still. I've been trying to get into a habit of making sure I use or put tokens with all my decks, but it's not always the case. Sky Crash. Things are just sticking together. There's the Monument to Endurance. That's a great pull. Can't complain again getting that. So I picked this up on Amazon, and I think it was before tax, $87 with the coupon. And I mean, that might be too expensive for these still, because there's not a ton of value. But if we get a few lands and a Monument to Endurance like that, maybe a stock up, you know, it doesn't take much to make up when you're at those prices. Helps if I stack the stuff in the right spots, though, doesn't it? I'm doing it again. All right, let me fix this real quick. All right. So, are you guys excited for Lorwyn? I know we had some conversation when I posted up my ranking of the upcoming sets, and Lorwyn didn't seem to be the biggest focus for some of you guys. It's definitely, like I said, for my wife and I, we really enjoy Bloomborough. Hey, look, the biggest hit you can pull in the set right now in a play booster. The Is It Verge Land. I could use those. I said, could really never go wrong pulling Verge Lands. It's actually, I've thought about getting more Urza Karloff while it's still available, because you could use the lands as well. It's kind of in the same category where there's a couple good hits. Urza Karloff has a couple bigger hits than this set does, to be fair, with like Delny. So there's a stock up. Put that in with the rares. Count on Lux. There's another loot. All this sorting's got mess with my head. Yeah, I don't think you normally see too many of the stock ups in a box, so that might be the only stock up we get. I don't know. We'll see. Bulwark Ox for rare, and then we got a Blood Gas, which is not bad. I don't think it's worth a ton, but it's a good card. There's a foil rare as well, but not a big hit or anything. Demonic Junker, and Sita Varma Masked Racer. I'm not all that happy about Wizards raising the price of standard sets as well. I mean, if it wasn't bad enough that the prices for the Universes Beyond stuff was crazy, now they're, pushing. There's another Verge pushing the prices of the stuff up into the Universes Beyond price range. Not a fan of that at all. Hurts the bank accounts. If I only cared about opening up play boosters, it wouldn't be that bad. But I do enjoy collector boosters, and it's like you have to pretty much get in to get a collector booster, before preview season to get a good deal. And when I do quotes, a good deal, so the MSRP now, and really what most of them are selling for at minimum for Lorwyn is $323.99. Now that it wasn't that long ago, like 2 years ago, you could get collector booster boxes, a lot of them for $200. It wasn't unusual to find them for that cheap. In fact, Infinity, I think I bought a couple Infinities for $130. I got, where's the Karlov? I did pick those up for $170 back in the day, like when they were pretty fresh still, and they sell for more than that now. They have for a long time even. It's kind of crazy. At $200 going with the collector booster versus $100 or $110 or whatever for a play booster, set booster, or whatever. That wasn't too bad. That was palatable, I guess. But I mean, these, with $330 being the starting price, and people were charging more, it's rough. Anyhow, I don't want to be a downer, but yeah. I mean, obviously, still always best to buy singles, but there is something fun about getting to open up your packs, build a deck, with what you've got, or even to build a deck and not have to go find order every card. Debris Beetle for the rare there. I thought it was another stock up. Web Strike Elite. Pretty cool looking. Gas Guzzler for a rare. If you guys have been around for a while, you know that I've got a whole set of this style of artwork that I collected right after the set launched. I will say, with the previews we've seen, Lorwyn, obviously with how much I like it, I'm definitely going to try to get a whole set of the showcase, like the regular frames, and the Japanese art style cards are pretty cool, but they're going to be expensive. I'm just hoping to pull a bunch of the Shocklands and stuff because they're beautiful. The two-sided Lifecraft engine. My cat is doing circles around me right now, trying to get me to go in there and watch over her while she eats. so that none of the other cats mess with her. Guardian Sunmire. Country Roads. There's another Vergeland. A Boom Mobile. And the Borderless. Well, it's a cool card. It's not an expensive card or anything, but I've got the borderless version of this as well. It's technically a god, but I've got a frog deck that I've kind of toyed around with for a while, and I've considered using that in. We got a cat that wants to come visit us here. You see, she's coming to make sure she sprinkles her hair all over my playmat. Alright, now that she's gone, Gastral Thrill Roller and Draconautics Engineer. And we've had, what, 3 Vergelands so far, I think, and a stock up and a monument. I mean, that's probably enough for this to be a good box as it sits, or at least pay for itself. I bet it'll be a good box. Hoping we get a special guest, though. So we got Explosive Getaway, we got a Bulwark Ox Rare Foil, and then, yeah. There's still a lot of money, not a ton of money, but there's still some value in the box toppers as well. Which, I mean, to be fair, other than a couple special guests and stuff, I've already kind of gotten a majority. I got all the box toppers I was looking for as far as the borderless ones originally. Alright, what do we got here? Atashik Emerald Radiant. Yeah, I like the start your engines mechanic, and I know a lot of people don't. I think it's a good mechanic. I just think that there wasn't enough cards with the mechanic, or let me rephrase. I don't think there was enough cards that that the difference between it having the mechanic and not having the mechanic made it scary for somebody to start your engines going. Like, I've never been like, oh, I can't let I'm going to sacrifice this one card versus letting them hit me and get another level on their start their engines. I don't know the best way to fix that. I don't know if it was start your engines and then it kept going and it could get stronger, could scale up or something. But like the idea of having a mechanic that tries to force you to not just take chip shots is cool, but I don't know. It just seemed like it kind of missed the mark a little bit in that way. That's pretty cool looking. One of the Gearhawks. Market Back Walker for a rare, common, foil, and the plains. I wonder if I should collect all the art cards for those as well. Add on to my set. It'd be a little weird in my binder though, since it's 4 slots and having the gold / P foil over and the regular one next to each other works out good. 3 would make it kind of weird. Pit Automation. Monument Breaker. This is a good card. At least in standard it was. March of the Machines, or March of the World sorry. Is a great card for some decks. At least Commander. Like for my Slime Against Humanity decks, it does some crazy stuff with slimes. Because the slimes technically are 0/0s plus the counter, so this makes them all 6/6s. And it gives you all those elephant tokens as well, which is cool. Nice bonus. But just adding the 6/6 to the ooze tokens for Slime Against Humanity is really strong. Winter Cursed Rider. We got 3 packs left, including this one. If I can get it open. That trip up keeps making me think it's a stock up every time I see it. Alright. Avoya Automatic Artisan. A Waxen Shapeshifter. Or Shape Thief, which is a Shapeshifter. Still no special guest, though. I mean, I guess there's no guarantee there's going to be one in a box, right? Regal Imperiosaur. And the last pack. Let's see how we do here before we get to the box topper at least. Looks like you got something back there. Don't know if it's anything. It might still be in the uncommons. Foul Roads. Canyon Vaulter. Haunted Hellride. We got a Winter Cursed Rider. Borderless one. And then that's it. So we did not get a special guest, which is kind of a bummer. I mean, maybe we have luck, because you can get special guests in the box toppers. So there's going to be 1 land, which the lands can be worth something. So there's 2 kinds of lands. There's the one that's the point of view lands, which are like where you're driving a vehicle. Those are the cheap lands. But there is a special rare land that you can get, which are pretty cool for each one of them. So like, and I think, so like looking at the forest in front of me, the forest one is like 410. See, that's a point of view land. That's a bummer. So this is a rare, not a mythic, but it is a gas guzzler. So not too bad. I've already got this card, but still cool. And it's not a bad card. Well, I've got it pulled up here. I wonder what it is, what it's worth. I just took a look. It is not worth very much. It's $3.73. A little preview for here in a minute. Anyhow, I'm going to let you guys go for a minute. I'm going to get everything scanned in. All the stuff that's worth anything, I'll get it all sleeved up and everything. And we'll just see how we did. I'll be back in a few minutes. All right, I'm back. Got everything sleeved up, scanned in, all that good stuff. It's all ready to put up once I'm done with the video here. Anyhow, play booster boxes. So we got a giant stack of commons. No surprises there. I mean, it's, you know, quite a bit bigger than the uncommon stack, which itself is pretty good sized. Right. This stack is all of our lands. So we got some 4 lands, not that many. I got what? 2? 3? I got 2 non-foil and 1 foil. 4. And then I got a couple basics. And then we got a whole bunch of like the random dual lands and stuff like that. And then we got that basic swamp, right? Like not the good one. It's funny is I don't know how many times I've opened this set up and I've yet to pull one of the good lands. I think my wife's got one, but that's how my luck is, I guess. For our rares, this is a stack of rares that are all under $1. Nothing too crazy. It's not, I mean, you know, 1 to 2 a pack, right? We got a few art cards and then a nice stack of tokens as well. I actually miss. I know that they wanted to move these around or have the art cards and stuff. I like having art cards and play boosters personally, but I guess that conversation's over. So anyhow, into the money though. These are the 2 cards that are between $1 and $2. Because I set the $1 to $2 cards aside in my storage. Those are a lot of times the ones that go up in price. And then this is what we have that's over $2. It's not a very big stack, as you can see. So they start off with this I can never say it, Sab Sunin Luxa Embodied. This is $2.17. This gold/P colored gas guzzler is $3.73. This Bright Glass Gearhawk is $3.90. Stock Up is the first card that's over $5. This is $7.75. Sunbillow Verge is $7.76, 1 cent more than Stock Up. Beachbone Verge is $7.86. And then we have Monument to Endurance. This is $14.12. And then the big hit, this is the biggest hit of the set, but in play boosters at least, short of any of the box toppers. The River Pyre Verge, this is the and it is $20.46 right now for that one. I was really hoping that I would do okay. I think we still missed a little bit. The total price with all of the $1 and more cards is $70.04. So that is less. Ideally, I like my $1 or more to be at least what I pay for the box. That's my goal pretty much all the time. I'm not asking for crazy hits or anything like that, but yeah. In this case, though, that is less. It's what, $17 less than the price of the box before taxes. Then, if we add in all the cards, all the bulk, all the small value stuff, it totals up to $106, which is at least over. We have had boxes that even with all the bulk and stuff were less than the box, so we did do well there. But as usual, Aetherdrift bites me once again. I like the set. I love the borderless art and stuff like that in the set, but it does not like me, especially when it comes to the box toppers. I've not pulled anything good at all as a box topper in this set. Not a good land, nothing, and that just hurts. We did get a total of 3 Verge lands, and we got a stock up. It seems to be usually 1 stock up per box, usually at least. So 3 Verge lands. We didn't get a borderless Verge land, which would have been nice, but you know, it's not too bad. I'm not going to complain too much. That That said, though, like I was saying earlier, we do have a bunch of Lorwyn stuff that's going to be coming. We're going to have just stacks of it. Between my wife and I, we both are getting a bunch of stuff in. But on top of that, I also have a bunch of cards coming in. In fact, right after this, I'm probably going to go ahead and record another mail day. So I've got a big stack of cards that's come in over the last week to 2 weeks. So we'll take a look at that next. So your next video is going to be a mail day for sure. Beyond that, I don't know if there'll be another mail day before we get into Lorwyn or not, but there will be a bunch of Lorwyn videos when we hit that time as well. So I don't know that we don't have anything else beyond that. I'm sure they'll have a secret lair at some point soon, so that might be in the mix as well. And well, I guess they should be shipping the reprint of the messed up secret lair as well. So maybe we'll get to take a look at that soon. So. Anyhow, this is Binder. As always, thanks for watching. To put us in your binder like I'm going to be doing with, well, at least a couple of these. All you do is like and subscribe, ring the bell to be notified, and you can catch us on our social media, which is linked in the description down below. I hope you guys have a great day. Bye.